Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Elisabetta, and I'm glad to see you all here today for this preview session that is a taster of the course OSHO No-Mind, from tension to relaxation, from mind to no mind. So this course runs for 1 week with one Zoom 2-hour session every day. When you register, the session time will show in your own local time zone, so it's easy for everyone to plan in advance. And now without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our wonderful facilitator, Sudhir. Sudhir has been a meditator for over 50 years and has a gentleness that makes him very relaxing to be around. He is a facilitator and a trainer for OSHO Meditative Therapies, which include OSHO No-Mind, OSHO Mystic Rose, and OSHO Born Again. So Sudhir will guide us into the heart of OSHO No-Mind and share what this unique process is all about. To you, Sudhir.
Good. Thank you, Elisabetta, for this great introduction. And wonderful to see where everybody's coming from so many different places. I saw Lausanne and Spain and Canada. So welcome everybody, and you can do this online OSHO No-Mind program from everywhere you are. That's the great thing about that we do it online. You don't have to travel. You can do it in your own home. And today you'll have a taste of what we will do in the course. Of course, a taste is just a small experience, but it can give you the feeling and the experience of what it can do for you. And what it can do is really remarkable. It is called OSHO No-Mind. And if you do the first hour intensely, passionately, you will experience silence, moments of silence in the beginning that can become longer and longer. And that silence is important because when the mind is there, we can never hear ourselves. We cannot hear our heart. We cannot hear our intuition. We cannot connect with our being. And the mind is always in the way because it keeps us connected with the outside. Just like now, you're connected with the outside through the mind. When you do this process, for moments, minutes, sometimes longer, the mind will be silent and you can sink inside and connect inside with your being. And that is really the miracle of this. No mind is the door. Your being is the goal, to connect with your being, and your being is part of existence. So it is a beautiful, easy, simple way to move into meditation. And meditation is to be in touch with your being, which is just a watcher. Yeah, and a watcher in the East is always called a Buddha. So it is a way to become a watcher, to become a Buddha yourself. You may never have thought that you can be a Buddha, but everybody is already a Buddha. Just the mind keeps us out of it. We have grown this mind for years and years in school to put all the energy that we get as a being into the mind. And now the mind keeps us floating on top of our being, on top of our heart. And this is an opportunity to create a small gap in that process, to sink into yourself, to become acquainted with your own heart, with your own being. And that is wonderful, because we are all Buddhas. We're all wonderful creations. So we have time um, to do maybe 10 minutes of gibberish and 10 minutes of silence. And in the gibberish, means to talk in a language that you don't know. Yeah, and then you may ask, how do you do that? You just start making sound, but in a way as if you're talking to somebody passionately, totally, but in a language that you don't know. And nobody else knows that language. But you can express whatever is in the mind in a language that you don't know. Normally, we um, we make everything in language. Our thinking is putting everything, all our experiences into language. And then we cannot get out of that language to our feeling, our being. So with this OSHO No-Mind, we break that habit. We use languages that we don't know so that we can empty the mind completely and nobody can hear what you're saying. So you can say whatever you always wanted to say and couldn't say because other people are listening, or you're not allowed to say that in your environment. So it gives you a freedom to express whatever is in the mind. And you have to do it totally, continuously, without any break. Yeah, so you just keep on making language sounds. And for me, that sounds like, oh, the big word they got the sack, or I go to attack, you should walk on tank, and you see that I always talk with my hands also, so you can also let your body express, because there's a lot of mind also stuck in the body. So you use language that you don't know, and you allow your body, your whole body, to express what you are saying passionately. And with that totality, you can create at the end of the hour um, a space where mind is tired, exhausted, and you can, in that space that is there, you can sink inside yourself, inside your being, become yourself. So we do 10 minutes of that gibberish, and then 10 minutes you just close your eyes and feel the silence, experience the stillness of no mind, of mind being not there for a little while. Yeah, and as we go through the week, that little while grows more and more. Yeah, and if you continue with that, you can even create that space of no mind when you're just doing your normal life, because you don't always need the mind. Mind gives you unnecessary thoughts, commentaries, things that you don't need. There's a question from Pramdasi whether you can move. Yes, you can move. When we do gibberish, you can move. You can get up. You can make gestures. You can move. You don't need to sit still. But uh, when the silence comes, when we stop, then sit down, close your eyes, and allow the silence to sink in. Yeah, in that space of no mind. So I think we are ready to. How do we avoid having the attitude? I can't. There is a to not be against the mind. No, we are. Yeah, that's a very good question, it is not that we are against the mind, but the mind has taken over completely. Mind is a beautiful instrument that we can use to create music, poetry, but um, we have given so much energy to the mind that it takes us over, that we, even when we go to sleep, mind continues blah, 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 blah. It's continuously commenting on what is going on. It puts everything into words instead of feelings, experiences. So we're not against it, but it is a much better instrument when it's empty, so that you can actually use it instead of letting it use you. So no mind is actually not pushing the mind away, it's using the mind, because it needs an enormous energy from the mind to create language that you don't know. It's actually creating language. And if you do that for an amount of time, it will be exhausted afterwards. And even in 10 minutes, if you do it, especially if you're not used to it, in 10 minutes, you can create an exhaustion in the mind, so that you can experience that silence when it's just silent for a moment. Yeah, so it's actually an empty mind that we experience. A mind without words, a mind without commentary, without dreams, without projections. And then you can simply be in the moment, experience yourself, experience your own depth. Okay? So you can keep your video on or switch it off. The sound is off because Zoom does something really weird with our sound. It kind of chooses sound, so we have a background music, not music, background gibberish that we have pre-prepared, just to help you and not to feel alone in your room. But if we leave the microphones open, it becomes a mess, because Zoom cannot handle that. And there's a question: can we open or close our eyes? It is up to you. You can, in the gibberish, you can either keep your eyes open or closed, but don't get distracted by all these people. It doesn't matter if you look or not look, as long as you keep on making gibberish. Okay? In the silent part, when I think there's a bell or a drum beat, then it's good to close your eyes, to just be in your own space. Okay? Ready? Then let's start. So that was a taste of what we will be doing for a week. And of course, when you do this for a whole hour, the silence will be deeper and longer. And as we go through the week, that will also be growing. And also you'll be more and more loose and more able to express whatever is in the mind. So it's a beautiful process that helps you to come to yourself, to come to a place of meditation. If you felt this is really something that works for you, then come to the course, because many of you have never done it before. So it's good to do first the course, so you have a really massive experience of what gibberish is, what it does, and also of silence, what silence actually does for you, because silence is just the door to a whole different experience of yourself. That we all have intuition, but we cannot hear it, we cannot feel it, because mind is continuously um, interrupting, communicating, commenting. Um, so if you feel this could work for you, come to the course. It's just 2 hours 2 hours a day for 7 days. It's not very expensive. Everybody can afford it. So why not do it?